All right, it's day three of the Turn In 21 vlog. This one I'm mainly focusing on goals and stuff, things I'm trying to do in this week before my 21st birthday, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about goals in general, things like that. But something I come up with because it's a goal I've had for a long time. I decided I'm gonna try to finish a story that I'm writing before I turn 21. I guess as a gift to myself. And the main reason it's important is because it's something I've really gotten into in the past couple of years is figuring out that I actually want to be a writer, and my main goal is to write scripts for video games. And initially, like when I was I'm still in college, but when I first started, I was in software engineering, and then I kind of hated that because it was just all math and science, and all I really wanted to do was get to like the couple of game design classes that the school even has, and it felt like all this math and science was just wasted. It's like a waste of time and money because I didn't need all of that stuff just to do game design. And like I couldn't just specifically go into courses about this is how you make a game and stuff like that. I had to do a ton of basic stuff that had nothing to really do with game design and then go into it. So once I got into realizing, I started to write stories actually during classes because I'd be super bored. um, I realized, I'd rather write than, go through all this stuff just to do game design when I could, go through writing courses and actually enjoy the classes I'm taking and, go into the field of writing and, media production. And then, on my own time when I actually have the money to buy, like the right equipment and things like that, I can learn it on my own or, really just like go on YouTube because you can honestly find so much stuff there. And then, figure out at least some aspects, even if it's starting off fairly simple with, little stuff like RPG Maker and, build myself up from there. So, I switched from software engineering to communications, and now I'm, switched over and I'm actually enjoying it a lot more. Like the first semester after I switched, I enjoyed like every class so much better than what I had done, like every other class so far outside of philosophy. I just really love philosophy. But like I really have fun doing that, and now really getting into my writing. I really want to get at least one of my stories done because right now I have two, and the one I initially started is going to be much longer than the one I'm doing right now. So I stopped my first story because I ended up writing like over 400 pages, and I actually typed some of it up, and I typed about 180 or something like that. And I said, okay, this is a good place to stop. It's sort of on the cliffhanger. So once I'm finished with that story, that could be like my initial pitch or whatever. But there's so much stuff with copyright and things like that. I can't exactly put the idea out there to anyone because of all the legal issues and stuff. So I stopped doing that, and now I'm focused on a much smaller story, which I want to do in one notebook, but typed out and stuff, it would only it would be so small it could only be like a couple of minutes really, or it'd be like a little like one shot type special thing. But however it plays out, I want to finish it. I don't want to rush just because my birthday is coming up. I may finish it, and odds are I actually won't, just because there's so much stuff going on with the characters that I haven't done yet, and there are other characters that haven't had their background or haven't really had their big moments. So I might not even finish it, but I am of course going to try because it is a a goal that I'm trying to set for myself, just as just for myself, just to have the goal and have it finished. Especially since I really do want to finish it and copyright it and be able to put it out in the world and try to get it as a TV show, or really as sort of like a live action, or not live action, but as an American based anime, kind of like Afro Samurai. And if you haven't seen that, you should definitely check it out. It's amazing. But that story that I'm writing, like I really enjoy doing it. That's why it is a goal, because if I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't make it a goal of mine. And like I'm glad I'm getting more into it because I've been doing the story. Like the first one I did, I've done it. I've had it for years, but it's like a lot of people do. You have this idea, you write it out, and it just takes a lot of time because you're doing other stuff. And this, whenever you start a story, unless you're already famous for writing stories, like I'm sure people who are like super famous, like Steven Spielberg and people like that, you know, when they start writing the story, they already know, I got these people who are gonna back me up, stuff like that. But when people like me start a story and you just want to write, it's not, you're not just like shooting through it as quickly. At least I didn't, because it's just me doing this, and even when it's said and done, who knows if anyone's gonna even remotely, learn who I am and what it is, unless I really, get out there way more than I am right now, which is the main point of finishing the stories. Because even if I get out there, I can't exactly, show people my stories because they aren't finished or copyrighted, so I have to deal with all that stuff. But just as a goal, it's something I want to do for myself, before my 21st birthday, just to have it done. And like I said, as sort of a birthday gift, to myself, even though it's me doing a bunch of work to get something done. But it will be worth the time, whether it's finished before my birthday or not. It'll be, once it's said and done, I'll definitely be happy that I actually had, my story idea written out, and then, I got to type it up and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure that won't be done. At least writing it, like the first draft of the whole story, that's what I'm really trying to get done. Because finishing the whole thing and typing it up, I just don't see that happening in the next couple of days because of how much more I have to add to the story. But right now, that is my goal. And as I mentioned earlier, my main goal is to become a script writer for video games. I want to get into media production. That's why I do all the little videos I do on my channel, which are mainly just reviews for now. And hopefully I'll be able to get into other stuff. Like the group that I'm in at my school, I'm trying to get everybody pumped up and into video ideas, because like I pitched the idea before and everyone enjoyed it, and I wrote the scripts, but we never really got into it because people just didn't, they weren't into it as much as I was, or a couple of members. So it would only be about 3 or 4 of us really into the ideas, and it's hard to just do like a full production with only 4 people when it's just 4 people, and no one really has the money to buy all these props, and we can't exactly just go wherever we want to film and stuff like that. But excuse me, I'm hoping to really get into the media production, and not just script writing, but directing and editing, and trying to do just everything at once, just so I have the experience to do it all if I ever do want to go my own way, which I kind of do. Like right now, I want to do sort of my own thing, and then get into sort of the much bigger stuff, if that's the only way I can really get my stories out, if I can't just have them done myself, because of all the crazy things that would really be going on require so many special effects and skills that I just don't have, and locations and props and all that type of stuff. But the goal for me is just to have something done that I really appreciate, that is my own thing. I've always wanted, like I've always looked at TV shows where I would say I want to make something like that. Like my favorite show on TV right now is Supernatural, and I'm definitely excited for that to come back. It comes back I think next week, and that's like my favorite show on TV. And I always think I want to make a show just like this, or not just like Supernatural, but something that people just remember and people love, or a movie like a ton of people just are like crazy over Kill Bill, and I really love Kill Bill because it has like katanas and it's like a samurai western movie, so I love that because I just love samurai stuff. And people are crazy about that movie. It is it's considered a classic film when you really think about it. And I want to make something that is remembered that well. Like I don't have to be known like in any way, even though it's kind of hard to do that when you are the creator. But the point is to make good work. And another great example would be Breaking Bad, which just ended. And for anyone who didn't watch this show, and of course I won't spoil it, but they have a special show called Talking Bad after that. And the creator, Vince Gilligan, he said, what I wanted to do is make a show that outlives me. That's kind of the point of being a writer. You want to make something that's so well done it outlives you. And he mentioned the Twilight Zone, because the creator of that died. I forgot when he said, but I believe he said like in the 80s or something like that. And pretty much everyone knows the Twilight Zone. It's hard not to. And that was just a great example of something that far outlives the creator, is the Twilight Zone. Because it's the Twilight Zone and it's amazing. And that's what I want to do. I want to make something that people remember and just enjoy. And this when they're older and they have like kids and stuff like that. It's like this movie was like a classic, or this show I really loved when I was younger, and you should watch it because I think you'll like it too. Stuff like that. That's just really what I want to do as far as writing my stories and producing them, and they'd be more for a specific group. They wouldn't be insanely common stuff where just everyone would love it. It would be more sort more towards people who like really enjoy anime type of things, which you could probably guess when I said I kind of want the shows to be like American based anime. And even if it's just like a small group of people, I would love it if like one person, it could be like of everyone on the planet, if one person was like, that's just my favorite thing, like that would be good enough. Even though it would kind of suck if everyone else hated it, but if one person just said that's their favorite thing to watch, or is like one of the best things they've ever seen, that's really what I want to do, and that's like the most important goal for me as far as writing and stuff like that. And another reason why I did this video, obviously leading up to my birthday, is because I want you to put your goals down. Goals you have. Right now it doesn't have to be like goals you had before you turned 21. Like what was I gonna have accomplished and things like that. Because it's not really about goals you have set for one day. Because I never had, aside from the goal I just created about make or finishing my story before my birthday, I didn't really have any specific goals like by the time I'm 21 I have to have this or have to do that. It was just as far as I was concerned, it was never a specific age. It was just in the future, I want this done and I want to have this as my career and this sort of lifestyle. So comment below, put the goals that you have in your life that you're really working towards, and just goals that you have in general, whether big or small. Like mine are pretty out there as far as trying to get into television, things like that. I consider that a pretty far-reaching goal, but it's kind of good to have those goals, because if you don't, then you'll just be living an average life, and it's kind of like, what's the point of that when you could do something that's just extraordinary? Why be ordinary when you can be extraordinary? Kind of like being human or superhuman, which might only apply to nerdy people like me, but I know I'd rather have superpowers, and I don't. Like super speed would be great, but comment below, let me know goals you have, goals for your future. If you had a random goal, like I had to do this before my 21st birthday, definitely put that down too. But any goals you have, whether you're working on them or not, just put them below. It might help you remember stuff that you've really been trying to do, things you really want to do. And even if it doesn't, it would just be cool if you commented below anyway. But thanks for watching.